Hello and welcome to Marketing Corner's snowed in episode number 141.
Yeah, yeah.
Woo!
Woo! We're literally recording, for the people who live in Copenhagen or in Denmark in general and listen, which is quite a lot of our crowd to listen in, you will know this day because this is the day when snow broke out. It's just like
Yeah,
it's a snowstorm. We had breakfast this morning at the office and I couldn't cancel it, so I had ordered for like 25, 30 people, and we were 5 people at the breakfast.
it's crazy. We got 30 centimeters of snow,
Yeah.
which for those of you who don't know the metric system, that's a foot of snow, which is unheard of in Denmark,
Yeah.
right? This is not common.
No, it's not normal. And this is also why Jen is not next to me, hugging me and like chilling with me. She's like, I can't do this shit, Casper. It's gonna be too far away.
It's cold out
Yeah.
there. No, I was out trying to shovel our driveway at 6 a.m. this morning, and I got stuck in the car and just was like, no.
No,
Like,
can't
we
do it.
pushed the car
Can't do
back
it.
into the driveway and we're just like, we're not moving. Our road still hasn't been plowed, and it is nearly 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're going to pick the kids up in sleds. We have to walk to the kindergarten to get them. So, yes, the snow has come to Denmark. So Casper, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Think back. I want you to think back, cast your mind back to 15th of June, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing in 2021?
I hadn't started Spark Force yet, right? So I was
No,
doing a podcast,
pre-Spark
I would
Force.
assume, probably.
It was, Squid Game had come out. That's exciting.
Okay, that was good.
And just after Tiger King, so we were just coming out of Tiger King. We're still in pandemic.
Gotcha.
We were still housebound.
Yes.
And you and I recorded our very first episode of Marketing Corner.
Yeah. And
I was 2 months away from giving birth.
we did one
And here we
about
are.
review sites.
And we did it on review sites. And it was called Review Sites, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
And we weren't just referring to review sites, we were also referring to our sound. Our sound was terrible then. We've grown up a lot then. We've grown up
Did
a
you
lot,
say
but
the same about the review sites?
the review sites, that's what we're going to talk about today, because some big news has come out about a big change in the review site world. G2 has acquired Capterra, Software Advice, and GetApp, putting the four major players when it comes to B2B software review sites all under one roof.
Yeah.
So I thought this was newsworthy. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, it is a pretty big deal. Like, in case you're never,
Yeah.
in case you're unaware, living under a rock or ice or whatever, this is a pretty massive deal. Like, I have some tinfoil hat theories, and I think Jen has some as well. But let's get to it.
So maybe I could just say high level what's actually happening. So G2 has agreed to buy the B2B software review sites, Capterra, Software Advice, and GetApp from Gartner.
Yeah.
So Gartner originally owned most of them. And this is expected to close in the next coming weeks. It sort of says early 2026. So I'm assuming Q1. This will include 6 million verified reviews. And they're estimating an audience of more than 200 million software buyers annually coming to this site. So that's the pitch.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. And I thought what we could do is talk a little bit about what's good, what's bad, and what does this mean for us marketeers. So maybe, what are your thoughts? Have you used these sites before?
Yeah,
What's
'cause I was about to say,
your
let's talk
experience with
about
these
like
sites?
the state of them, if you can almost say that, right? So I think the state of review sites, if we just take a step back and start there, right? I have to be honest, like across our clients, I can't remember the last time I talked with them about review sites. And it's not because of
Agree.
negligence or not because it's not on our radar or anything. It's just, first of all, it's not that important to them. And these are all the ones that it should be important to. They don't focus too much on them these days. And I think most importantly, just before, and we just talked about going live, I was at a small private event, not a conference, a private event yesterday with a bunch of SaaS companies, and they were asked in a room like how many got any results out of review sites, and all of them were like, nope, nothing. Like it's not working for us anymore, or like driving what we want to do. So I think that my overall sentiment on review sites for SaaS companies at least is generally not that great right now. I have to say.
Yeah. I mean, earlier in my career, you had to be there,
Yes,
right? And I
and I still
remember
think you
spending
need to be there,
ridiculous
but it's just yeah.
But I remember spending ridiculous amounts of my time creating profiles for all of these different review sites for GetApp, for Software Advice, G2, Capterra, and they all had to be different. They had this like, "Meow, meow, you're using the same profile as in another site. So you always had to tweak it a little bit and you had to keep on top of them. And then suddenly it wasn't enough to have the free version. You had to pay for it. And we were paying something like $10,000 a year for
Yeah.
G2 and Capterra then, and it crept into your budget quite
And I
quickly,
think that's
right?
kind of my point with this is just to say like I don't think like having profiles on these different review sites is I don't think you should not stop doing that. Like also like yes, I know you need to do what you say like you need to diversify, but the amount of like effort required to get that live is not that much. Let's be real. Like it doesn't take that much. At least I didn't.
It was a pain in the
It's a
ass,
pain in the
but
ass, but it's like it's not.
yeah. But once it's up, it's up.
Once it's up,
Yeah.
you can kind of like just leave it, right? And
Yeah.
that's good for SEO. So, but I do think like the paid side of these platforms is dying. Like, and I think that's also brings me to my tinfoil hat theory here, is that G2 can only buy Capterra, Software Advice, GetApp because they're struggling, right? Like, I don't think this is happening because they're thriving. Let's put it that way. And
Yep.
I have read and heard somewhere that a lot of AI searches are fed by review sites. And it was like I've heard as late as yesterday. I think it was number 4 or number 5 on the list of where AI gets their sources from when it comes to like software reviews and stuff like this. So it's quite high, and I know that review platforms say themselves, but when it's more intense searches, it's closer to top 1. And whatever, maybe that's true. I think, but my point with saying that is more like, really, is that really the case? And I think fundamentally, if you're just a review platform and you're just the only reason you exist is to feed the LLM, no one's might like people are not going to go to the review site. They're just going to use the information that they get from the LLM from the AI search, right? So what? And yes, I understand why the LLM and why as a user that's good information, but I don't fundamentally understand how that business model is going to work in the long run.
Yeah. And you're jumping ahead quite a bit because that's the AI part of the chat, because I think
Sorry, I
that's a
couldn't
really
help
important
it.
part.
It's just,
You didn't follow the notes I gave you.
I'm
That's
sorry, but
fine.
that's like yeah. All right.
I know you have thoughts. No. I wanted to address first. Gartner shares have dropped by 70% in the last 52 weeks.
But there you go, right?
So you're absolutely right. And that's publicly available information. They are in trouble. And I think that this was, let's try to save something. Let's deliver that shareholder value by getting rid of these review sites. So I think that is a sign that the industry in itself is in turmoil. AI has changed so much, including review sites, not only review sites. I think let's talk the good. Let's not get into the doom and gloom.
Good.
What's the
Yes,
good
let's be
news about
positive. It's
this?
Friday.
I'm a positive person. It's
Yeah.
beautiful,
Get it.
snowy
Hear me out.
Copenhagen.
Let go. Positive vibes. I love it.
Let's go positive. I think actually from a consumer point of view, having one site to get a verified review is going to make your life easier,
That's why I love you, Jen,
right?
'cause that's such
Assuming
a
you
good
still
point.
review,
Yeah. Fuck
assuming you visit the review sites and don't use the ChatGPT. If
yeah.
you Google Acme Software, there will be one place that you go and you can know that these reviews have been verified because they're pulling in all the reviews from all these sites into one place. So from a consumer point of view,
Way better.
great. I only have one place to look
Yes,
now,
way,
right?
way better. Because also, especially because this space was crowded. And I know we're just talking about
Yes, you'd
Capterra,
go
Software
here and
Advice,
then
and
there
GetApp
and
now,
then
and G2. And those are the biggest players, don't get me wrong, but that's not like there's a million sites for this stuff out there, right?
there's still Trust Radius and,
All
and
these,
stuff like that, right?
right?
There's still a few others out there, but you would get different, not necessarily different reviews, but also as a marketer, right? When we would do these campaigns to get people to leave a review on Capterra or G2, it was like, oh, can you do one on Capterra? Now can you do one on G2? Now can you do one on Software Advice? Now can you do one on GetApp? And your customers are just like, can you piss off? So we would have to choose which review site was the most important for us to make sure, so now there's one place and that makes our lives a lot easier. And I think the other thing that could be interesting is if they have one sort of consistent kind of buyer signals and definitions, right? Because what good is here might not be good over here. So now you have kind of a consistency of comparison.
Yeah.
We're all being compared across the same criteria. That's good, right?
Yeah.
So it is a simpler way of knowing that what you're seeing hopefully is accurate.
I think that's a
from
really
a
good point.
consumer.
I just want to dive a little bit on this because
Thank you.
I think we're gonna. No, it's a really, really, really cool point, and I totally agree. And you're being, I was being way too doom and gloomy for a Friday, but I think it's a really good point. I do think that we're planning to do an episode specifically about signals in general, like a broader theme around signals. But I just want to add, like right now today, if you want to get signals, like when it comes to ABM and a lot of like into your different systems using all these different tools, Clay and whatever you're using, then signals you have to get from different sources, like from G2, from Capterra, from whatever, all these. And potentially, the way I look at it is you would be able to get a unified signal across these now.
Hmm.
And that would be
Yes.
way better, way easier. Like, so again, that from a consumer, from a end user, like from us using these signals, that's super powerful. I
Yeah.
actually do it. That's a really
So
good
that
point. That's really good, actually.
it should be good.
I do think
Now
it
let's
takes
get
some
into the
time if I know
bad.
them correctly. It does not like doesn't happen tomorrow, right? Probably, but
No,
all the time.
no. But we can now get into the bad because it's not all. It's. I don't think this is done for the consumer's
No,
benefit.
fuck
Let's
no.
be
Yeah.
honest. Um, so I think one, the most obvious one is a monopoly risk, right? At least when there's competition for innovation, and there's competition on price. Now there is none of that. I mean, of course, we said there's a few here and there, but these are the biggest players. These four. What do you think that's going to do in terms of the pricing and, if you can't pay, Gartner famously pay to play, even though they say they're not, they are, wink, wink. So is this going to be a pay to play? In which case, the people who pay are the ones who get the best
Mm-hmm.
reviews. And then are you gonna be able to trust it?
No.
That's one thing I'm worried about. That was the first thing I thought.
Yeah. No. And that's because you're so sometimes like Jen, you are like the knight in shining white armor. I feel like the Batman story. But
Well, I am the one who went head to head with Gartner, if you
yeah, I do
remember.
remember
I
that.
was going
Yeah,
ahead. I
yeah,
tried to
yeah.
make an official complaint against them, and they were like, "Oh, you can here's Steve. He takes care of all our official complaints." I was like, "Your ombudsman is an internal person?" Yeah. I was like, "Great. So you're
Great.
not going to take
Yeah,
my complaint
yeah,
seriously at all.
yeah. It's
Super.
awesome.
Good
Really
to know you
appreciate it.
investigate
Yeah.
yourself." Anyway,
Uh,
couldn't have happened to a nicer
I think
company.
it's
Oh,
kind of written in the stars, right? Like the price is only gonna go up. Let's be real.
yeah.
Like if you have a squeezed business model, then you create a monopoly so you can squeeze the price. It's kind of like a
Hmm.
textbook thing of how to. What do you do when your market is scrambling? You consolidate because then that's the only way then you can gather all customers under one roof and raise your pricing.
Hmm. And we have no choice now.
There's no
There's
choice.
no, there's nowhere else to go.
But
Yeah.
that does mean that there's open space for creating a competitor. Or like there's a million out there, but just making something better, right? Uh,
Hmm.
I've always thought here's an idea for the people who are listening. This is why you listen to Marketing Corner. Sometimes we throw these like random business ideas that you can go out and become a millionaire, billionaire. So here's an idea. Grab this one. So there's already like Glassdoor, right? Have you used Glassdoor before?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Glassdoor is
Tons.
pretty cool. It's not that common in Denmark. I just want to in Europe in general.
Mm.
It's not that common, but it is there. It's very America focused. Anyways,
Mhm.
Glassdoor is good, but not great in my opinion. I always wondered what if you combined some of it. So like, because
Mm.
there's a lot of like you review like right now. So when you go to G2, you look at it because of the software. But what if you also reviewed it based on who they are as a people, right?
Mm.
So when you work at this company, so you can also get some insights. Okay, these are the people who work at this company. They're all really nice, and their product is really nice. And I was like, that's double win. But what if you like? Maybe I should ask this question: would it matter to you if you looked at a great product that had really shitty employee references? Like was like, okay, they treat
Yes.
their staff really bad. People hate working there,
Hmm.
super bad. Would that influence your buying decision? Personally, I'm not.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. I was about to say. I think
Yes.
it would. I'm not sure 100%.
Yeah.
It would like if this was like the tool. For instance, if I was looking at Clay, let's take Clay, and I was like, okay, I
Hmm.
need to use Clay. Would it matter? Yes, but it wouldn't stop me from buying it. But there's some level in me that says it does matter a bit, right? It does matter quite a bit.
I'll give you if I can give you an example. So I worked at a company that is notorious on Glassdoor for the wrong reasons. It has some really bad
We
reviews,
all know those
and
companies. Yeah.
I can confirm I was not treated particularly well. A lot of people I know were not treated particularly well. But they have a great product. And so I was at another company where someone had said, "Hey, you worked at this company. We're thinking of getting their product." And I said, "It is a good product, but I will not recommend them because of how I was treated. But you are welcome to make your own decision. And they went on Glassdoor and they said, absolutely not. We are not going to support this, especially in the Copenhagen ecosystem where we try to take care of each other. So, I mean, I didn't say don't use it because it is a good product. And if this team needs the product, you get the product. But they took one look at Glassdoor and they said, no, absolutely not. This isn't for us.
Exactly.
So,
And that's the
yeah,
thing. Why?
that
Like,
is a big
this is
one.
where I think there's a space to combine these things. I'm just throwing it out there. I think there's
Yeah.
some more room to get a little bit more nitty gritty on how you treat people and treat people in general, and then combine that with
Well,
your
it's holding
business stuff.
companies accountable,
Yeah.
right? It's kind of like the ESG thing of like, hold them accountable. You're going to make this monopoly. What are you going to do with that money? Are you out there killing baby seals while you're raising your prices? Are you removing carbon from the atmosphere? I think if on the grand scheme of things, if this tool solves my problem and it's in budget, those things are less important.
Mm,
But if there is a lot of competition, then you look for reasons to make your decision easier. And if it comes down to they're bad for the environment and they treat their staff like shit, then that is a deciding factor, right? Yeah.
yes.
But I think some of the other challenges with this, right, is the stakes are going to be super high.
Yeah.
If everything is on one platform, it kind of again comes back to the competition, but it's going to be like G2 is going to control all the reviews, and it's kind of like what you had said not too long ago about AI is winner takes all.
Yes.
If you dominate this one platform, no one else is going to be able to sneak in
That'd be
because
really
this
hard,
is the
right?
only place. It's going to be super hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be winner take
Yeah.
all here. So that's going to reduce the competition. And yeah, again, like not having competition is always going to have an impact on the technology, the advancements, the development of that platform, and the pricing.
Never like has it is there ever a point in history where having a monopoly was a good thing, like for like in a business sense? I don't think there's ever been a place where, at least for the end consumer, there's never been a place where like, hey, it's great we have a
No.
monopoly, I love having that. No.
I love that I don't have any other
Yeah,
options.
I just like,
This is
this is
great.
the only option I have. Great, I didn't need more. Easy
Super.
decision making.
Yeah. Well, we talked not too long ago about like Netflix, right?
Yeah.
There isn't really, I mean, there's a lot of streaming sites, but if you want Netflix are raising their price every 6 months.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got on Netflix, it was like $9.99 USD, and now I think I'm up $26 a month.
Yeah. I do think there's
What am I
competition.
gonna do? Not watch,
Yeah, but
not watch my
that's because
programs?
they have their originals now, right? Like, because I think if
Yeah.
you look at just streaming, there is a lot of competition, though, right?
There's a lot of options, yeah,
Like, they've
but
been pretty good at,
they
like,
have the best shows.
they wanted their
Yeah.
created their own shit. That's it. I think that's just smarter. Like that's just like
Yeah.
it's the same with like, hey,
It's
we have
monopoly
a
though.
feature that only our competitors don't have. So that's but
Hmm.
yeah, but I hear you. It's a good point, right? And I think so. So fundamentally, I think this is what it is, right? But I think it's interesting because like we also talked about. It's interesting. So now Gartner is selling these off. Like I'm also intrigued to see what happens with Gartner in general. When you
How about that magic quadrant? Funny enough, the phrase magic quadrant hasn't shown up in a sales process for a really long time. I don't know about you.
I remember back when we did this episode the first time, like what is that, 5 years ago now. I think I specifically went on LinkedIn and said like I think Gartner's shit. I think people you should stop wasting your money on Gartner. Sorry, Gartner. Shots fired. I think spending money on these kind of things. Same with Forrester. Also, I think it's
Forrester,
you're,
yep.
like throwing your money in the fire dump. I don't think it has any value in any decision making process. I'm not seeing it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not hearing it from any of our clients at all. Maybe I'm not in the wrong circles. Maybe I'm not talking to the right people. Maybe it's even more enterprise stuff. I don't know. I don't think so, but so be it. I still think that's the case. And I think if people
I
are
agree.
coming to realize, and it's apparently taken 5+ years to get there, that it's been crap for quite some time, and that has not changed.
But in a way, it was like doping and cycling.
Yes.
Like
Everyone knows.
it's stupid, but if you're not doing it, then you're left out,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Like it's not a good thing. We all are, taking drugs is not a great thing, but if I don't take drugs, there's no way I'm going to win this race, and then no one wants to sponsor me, and so it's kind of that's how I felt about Gartner. Was I know it's a waste of money. I know this doesn't matter, but I need to be on that magic quadrant in order to be considered by these enterprise players at the time. We did have a few people say, why aren't you on the magic quadrant? So I reached out to Gartner saying, how do I do this? and they're like, oh, let's sit you with a salesperson. But we're not pay to play. But if you would like to pay $40,000 per month or per quarter, whatever it was, then you would be able to take to our researchers to see if you can get on the Magic Quadrant. And it was the same with Forrester. I remember talking to Forrester and they said, oh, we can include you in this report, but it'll be $40,000. Well, how is that not pay to play? But then if I don't do it, I'm not in the report. And if I'm not in the report, no one knows who I am. So it was this kind of vicious cycle. And I think AI has come in and gone,
Just like
you
drop the
know,
nuclear bomb on that whole business.
yeah,
And it
now we
should.
don't have to pay
Yeah.
for a Gartner subscription to look at these reports that you're probably using AI on anyway. Now I have something else that I'm not saying it's more,
Well, is it
what's the
like
word,
now?
like
I gotta be careful. We're not
objective.
doing official slandering here. Like, but, but I'm
Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly,
allegedly,
allegedly.
allegedly, someone
Allegedly.
found out that a lot of these reports were AI generated. They could like track it back to AI language. Like you have these like models you can do it with, and it's like okay, it's a lot of this shit coming out of there is also AI generated now. Which not surprising at all. Like, does this
Yeah.
surprise you? Not at all. Not to me either, right?
Oh, a bunch
So
of consulting firms, it was in the news, a bunch of consulting firms, same thing. They were charging $500,000 for AI generated reports. So
exactly,
it's happening.
it is
I'm
happening.
not saying I have proof Gartner did it, but it's happening in the industry in general.
Yeah,
It is an assumption, allegedly, allegedly. Please don't
yeah,
sue us. But I think let's talk now because we are dipping our toes in AI.
yeah.
What do we think this means for AI? You touched on it a little
Yeah.
bit
I
before, but I think there's, let me set it up of either having one place that it has a lot of authority
mm,
or a lot of places with a little bit of authority. We don't really know what's going to feed the algorithm,
no.
but my gut says more varied sources
Mm.
will feed the algorithm better than one varied
I
resource
would tend to agree, but it
or
is a
one
big
source.
one, and I
Yeah.
don't think they're shutting down the sites though anytime soon. So it's probably like gonna be uh, feeding it from different angles. I, I would tend to agree that you're right. Like diversification is a good thing. I'm not sure it will matter as much, but like I think it's just it's the same idea when you typically consolidate a bunch of sites, like websites in general. Like when you
Mm,
consolidate brands, like one plus one is not always two. One plus one is like 1.5 or 1.8, right? And I think this is
mm,
kind of the same. Like that's how I go about this. Is like we it's not like we're adding all of these four and then we just like have multipliers of effect immediately at least, right?
mhm,
So let's see. But I don't think I heard like as I said I think like review sites were like a fourth of the list of where LLMs get their traffic or like their sources from when it comes to software reviews.
mm,
Uh, there might be a potential that this moves up then because of like because this was based on G2. This was G2 who's number four in that list, right? So if you add
mm,
Capterra on top of that, then it might crawl up the list. I think that's definitely a potential thing that would happen, but I,
mhm.
honestly I wouldn't bet my money on it. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. And I think none of us know. It's just purely because we don't really know how the LLMs
No.
necessarily get their data from. It was just a hypothetical of, yeah, I think from what I've read, it's more beneficial to be mentioned multiple places than to be mentioned by one place that has a high authority.
Yes.
But we don't really know. That's just assumptions. But I think, yeah, I think it's an interesting, I don't know, I think it's a very interesting move. I would be really curious to understand the money behind it and what the plan is. It's playing out.
I,
Again, it's
I,
not going to be, it's not done yet.
I don't. Honestly, I think it's just Gardner going, "Hey guys, we're bleeding. Take it off our hands. Help us." Kind of. Yeah.
Help us in turn. I'd
Here's a
love to
deal
know
you
what
can't
G2
refuse,
is going to do.
right? Like
Yeah.
I literally that I think that's what's going on here, and yeah tells a bit of the story.
But I think we are seeing the sort of the final death throes of these review sites.
Yeah.
I think this is the impact of AI, people relying on AI to tell them what to do in context and things like that.
Yeah.
And if people aren't visiting the sites, how are the sites making money?
Yeah, but I do think, and that's the interesting part, right? Because like, if you're not revisiting the site, the site cannot exist based on their current business model, technically, right?
Mm,
But at the same time, the AI will only get weaker if those sites don't exist in the future, right? Or something
mm,
comparable, like somewhere else where people review stuff. Because not like you're not reviewing
yeah.
inside the AI like LLM. It's not like you go into ChatGPT and write, "I fucking hate this software," right? right? So
Yeah, put this out to
put this
everyone.
out to everyone. So
Yeah.
so you need a place to put that information. That for
Hmm.
some whatever platform looks like in the future still needs to exist. But the business model of how it exists is definitely under fire, right?
Yeah.
So
And that's a question. How are they going to make their money?
yeah,
Is it going to be charging companies to be more prominently displayed? Or is it going to charge, in which case you can't really rely on the information because it's going to be the highest payer. You know, the person who pays the most is going to get the best
but isn't there?
placement, kind of like a
And
Google.
maybe I'm
But
showing my lack of knowledge here, but isn't there was a lot of talk, at least initially, I think there still is, like how LLMs face information that they've gathered, right? Because a lot of
mm,
newspapers and like publications and stuff like, hey, we're producing this, you can't just grab and share it, like and maybe review sites need to find like a model where it's protected, like where that
mm.
input is protected, and the only way they can get access to it is if they poll and stuff. I don't know if that's a feasible business model. Probably isn't, but it's just like maybe there's
As in, like, you have to create an account in order to view what's in there so the
potentially,
LLMs
right?
can't
So
find
the
it.
LLMs can't find it
Yeah.
somehow, right? Like I don't know if that's feasible at all, but I'm just spitballing here. But I'm just saying
Mm.
I definitely think they need to change their business model, because otherwise
Yeah.
it's not gonna last. I don't think so.
I think if you do that, I see the benefit of doing that, but then the LLMs won't pick it up. And when 1 in 3 people are using LLMs, then you're
Yeah,
just going to see your traffic go down, right? And I just think it would be very interesting to understand how they're going to make money
yeah,
and still make sure that you can trust what's happening on that
I
site.
agree.
So we don't have the answers, folks.
But
As per
as
usual,
per
we have a
usual,
lot
we
of
don't know
opinions.
jack
We don't have
shit.
the
I'm just
answers.
reporting to you guys. I'm just
We don't
telling
know.
you.
But let me ask you this: as an agency owner,
Mhm.
will you be advising your clients to be present on this now one platform?
Yes and no. So right, yes, in the sense that I still think you need to have a profile, and I still think it's good to have five or like a few reviews, but I don't think you need to
Mhm.
spend a lot of money on them moving forward.
Yep.
That's my
Yeah.
that would
So free profiles, get
pay
your reviews out
profiles, get the
there.
first 10 reviews. I still think that is solid and worth the effort. Not on
Hmm.
every one of them, but just a few of them. I always recommend that, but I really don't think we're heading towards a space we're paying for, especially D2. Like D2, like super expensive to get in. Used to be like $10,000-$20,000 just to be there, like properly.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't see that value coming back anytime soon. Oh, no,
No, I didn't see it at the time.
no, exactly.
The only time I would take calls with G2 is because my CEO was making
Yeah,
me.
exactly. Yeah. Please talk to these guys. It's important.
Eh,
Yeah,
yeah, guys, please listen. No, I agree. I think it's important to have not for presence on the platform, but to have presence for the LLM
yeah,
to
exactly.
be scrapable and to be founded. So the more you can be out in the world, the better. But I wouldn't put a ton of effort. And I think we used to do, remember the time where we used to do customer review campaigns where we would give you an Amazon gift card if you left us a review. And that was Capterra and G2 were the ones who spearheaded that.
Yeah.
I think those days are gone, um, where we can offer a monetary reward for you leaving a review. And I think you'll see perhaps these whenever something like this happens, as you mentioned, like these side businesses will pop up. I think what we're going to see is this kind of side business of more LLM friendly review sites that will try to challenge this more established behemoth
Yeah,
of
exactly.
depending on what their pricing is. I think we'll see some pop up competition in interesting AI first ways.
Absolutely, 100%. I think we need to. We're
Cool.
gonna cut it off here. I think that was a good one.
Yes, I don't think I have much to say.
No, but I think this is a pretty big move. If you're using review sites, I would love to hear from you guys. Like, who's
Yeah,
listening? Because like, I don't have a lot of surprisingly, I don't have a lot of our clients that talk too much about it and don't use it that much anymore. So it's still a thing they care
it
about,
doesn't
but
come up.
it doesn't
Yeah.
come up that much. So if you have guys
It
any
doesn't come
insights,
up with our
please share
portfolio
with
either.
us. Drop it in LinkedIn or whatever. I was about to say the chat. There's no chat
Yeah,
here, but just drop us an email or
drop it
letter or
in.
something, or throw me a snowball,
Yeah.
whatever. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.